What's up, everybody? Welcome to Gamescast now, episode 84, topic 1. I'm Alex. This is our conversational gaming show, and this week we have a really busy and really big episode for you guys. We're getting ever so close, as I've said in the last episode of Gamescast now, to E3, so we want to start picking up our coverage in terms of Gamescast. So we're going to have 5 Gamescast topics this week, talking about many different things. If we could see games, what games should we see, all kinds of things for video games regarding E3. And I wanted to start off this topic on this episode with GTA 6 and kind of have a discussion about this, because I feel like there's 2 parts to it, okay? One of the more bigger things you can talk about is, will GTA 6, and that's the title, will GTA 6 be announced at E3 2019? Now, I think there's a little bit to this, okay? It's not just like a clicky title. It's not just a game that's obviously really big and something that people would obviously want to know, but I feel like there's unrealistic expectations for GTA 6's announcement. When you look back at the history of Rockstar Games, I don't see how they're going to announce GTA 6 at this year's E3. Now, there's also 2 parts to that. I personally believe, and there have been rumors to suggest as well, that Bully 2 could be the next game from Rockstar. It doesn't have to be GTA 6, but we could just, I guess GTA 6 can be our backdrop of a game, but we can pick between one or the other. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think, whether it's GTA 6, whether it's Bully 2, I don't think it's going to get announced at this year's E3. I really don't, and that's just based off of that they really take their time when it comes to releasing their games. GTA 5 to Red Dead Redemption 2, that took 5 years in between, okay? So I don't see how Red Dead coming out just this past year in October of 2018, I don't see how within the year, within a 12-month calendar year, you announce the next game in your catalog, especially because it does take them a very long time to make these games, especially because of how big and how, people expect a lot from these games, right? You don't just announce a GTA 6 or Bully 2 and have it come out if it's not 100% ready, and if it's not going to be 100% a game of the year contender and all that stuff. We have a expectation set for Rockstar Games where, when their games come out, they need to be at the top of the group. And I think that's going to happen no matter what. I think if they make a GTA 6, I think if they make a Bully 2, whatever it is, I think it's going to be a really good game. But if you announce it this year, I don't see how this game comes out within the next 2 years. I really don't. I feel like I would put my prediction down for 2022 to 2023 when we're going to get the next Rockstar Games. And another thing to keep in note too is that would 100% be a fully next generation game, and they may only be able to get one game off in that next generation, especially because of how they did it, Red Dead. Now, what I could see is them making an announcement for Red Dead 2, kind of having like an advanced port to the next generation, where when you play it, obviously it's going to be enhanced and stuff, and the consoles are already going to make it better, but maybe they would do a remaster. Maybe they have a Red Dead Redemption 2 Game of the Year edition. It would be a remaster, and it would be kind of one of the first new age games that we see for the next generation of consoles that is like that. We get the companies that make remakes, we get those remasters, but they're kind of few and far between, and they're picked very specifically. And I don't think a game like Red Dead is a game that you would think would fall under that category, but I do think it's very possible. So that is an announcement I think we would get. I think we would get something about Red Dead. I think we'd get something about Red Dead with a next generation of consoles. I just don't see how they're ready to announce their next game, because I feel like if they do that, when I see a trailer, when I first see a game get announced, I hope that game can come out within 2 years. That's stretching it, because I think we're going into an age, especially with games, where, and especially me, I like it when we see the game, we hear about the game, and then it comes out within 6 to 8 months. That is how I really like it. Obviously, I think there are exceptions to this rule. The Uncharted 4 stuff, that took forever from when we first actually saw it to when the game came out, and obviously there were changes that were made to it and all that. But even like The Last of Us Part 2, we've been seeing The Last of Us Part 2 for quite a few years now, and the game is still not out. I think it's been almost 2 years. So, I think Sony exclusive games tend to push that, and I think a lot of games do tend to push that as well. It's not just Sony, but Xbox is even doing, or Microsoft is doing it a little bit differently with Gears. We know Gears 5 is being made. We know Gears 5 is coming out, but we haven't really seen anything. So, we're going to see something from them, and then it'll actually come out. I want that. that's what I actually want. So if we get a Bully 2 or we get a GTA 6, I'd rather we see it and then within 6 months we actually can play it and it's actually out. It's actually fully realized. And if you look at, you look at Red Dead Redemption 2, they kind of did that where they announced it, they showed stuff off, and then they went silent even within like the last 3 months before the game came out, and then they started doing those documentaries, those like part 1, part 2, part 3 of what you can do in the world. Then they did that, and they only started doing that within like 3 months of that game getting ready to come out. So they really pushed it and they kind of crammed it of, here's all the stuff, here's like 3 videos within 2 months, and then here's the game, you can actually do everything, and here you go. And I really do like that because it kind of builds in a very, very short period of time, and you can get very, very excited, and you can really, sell your game on that. So when it comes to a Bully 2, when it comes to a GTA 6, if they announce it this year's E3, I want it by next year's E3. I would want it within a year, and I 100% think that will never happen. That will never. We are not getting another game from Rockstar before 2021, and that is if they cram it like you've never seen it before. Even if they have 2 studios, even if they have an enormous amount of people working on it, they literally would have had to make 2 fully realized Rockstar studios, because you couldn't have been doing Red Dead Redemption 2 while also making the same level of a game with GTA 6 or Bully 2, and also have them being made on the next generation of consoles. And that also doesn't even make sense because some third-party developers are now just getting the press kits for the next generation of consoles, so they couldn't even make the games for them before that. The only people that have had them before this were the owned studios that PlayStation has or Sony has and Microsoft has. Those are the only people. So I really, really think it's unrealistic. But I've seen a lot of people saying like we need to see an announcement from is it like, have they already blown by when they should have announced GTA 6? No, unless you want this game to come out 3 years after the announcement and then you have like a Kingdom Hearts thing going on there. I really don't want that. So my personal prediction is no. Rockstar is very, very silent at this E3. We maybe get something for Red Dead 2 with a next generation of consoles, but that is it. So guys, let me know in the comments below. Do you expect to see an announcement from Rockstar at this year's E3? When do you think a GTA 6 or a Bully 2, when do you think it's going to get announced, and when do you think it'll release? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up, and thank you so much for watching this topic, and I hope to see you on the next one.